Welcome back to our channel, your premier destination for the most in-depth analysis and breaking updates from Genoa City. Today is a beautiful day to dive into the latest, earth-shattering drama unfolding on The Young and the Restless. Grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let us unravel the tangled webs of our favorite characters. Let us get right into it. The psychological landscape of Genoa City is about to be violently reshaped by a revelation so profound that it threatens to tear the very fabric of the Abbott family apart. Diane Jenkins, despite her recent ruthless corporate victory in ousting Jack Abbott and claiming the chief executive officer position at Abbott, finds herself descending into a terrifying psychological abyss. Her nights have become a torment of vivid, haunting nightmares that refuse to let her rest. In these terrifying nocturnal visions, Diane finds herself wandering the dark, echoing halls of the Abbott mansion, only to stumble upon a chilling tableau. Jack Abbott standing alongside her ultimate rival, Patty Williams, cradling a crying infant. The sheer visceral terror of this dream leaves Diane waking up in cold sweats, her heart pounding against her ribs, as an inescapable sense of impending doom settles over her. She tries to dismiss it as mere anxiety born from her recent corporate betrayals and her paranoia over Jack's fake romance with Nikki Newman. But the subconscious mind often knows the truth long before the conscious mind is ready to accept it. The true horror for Diane is that her nightmare is not a manifestation of her insecurities, but a dark premonition of a buried reality that is about to claw its way to the surface. Patty Williams, a woman whose history with Jack Abbott is defined by tragic obsession, severe psychiatric instability, and dangerous manipulation, has been quietly biding her time in Genoa City. While Patty has been busy pulling the strings of the amnesiac Matt Clark and manipulating Detective James Burrow to torture Nick Newman, her ultimate, unwavering focus has always been Jack. Patty has harbored a secret so massive, so fundamentally life-altering, that she has kept it locked away in the darkest corners of her fractured mind for decades. But now, sensing the deep fractures in Jack and Diane's relationship, Patty realizes that the perfect moment to deploy her ultimate weapon has finally arrived. She is ready to rewrite history and claim what she believes is rightfully hers. The confrontation occurs in a moment of quiet vulnerability for Jack Abbott, who is already buckling under the immense weight of his fractured family, Kyle's corporate betrayal, and the ongoing war against Victor Newman. Patty approaches Jack with that signature, unsettling serenity that always precedes her most destructive actions. Jack, anticipating another one of her delusional rants or perhaps an update on their dangerous alliance against the Newman Empire, is entirely unprepared for the paradigm-shifting bombshell she is about to drop. With a chillingly calm demeanor and eyes wide with a terrifying sincerity, Patty looks at the man she has obsessed over for a lifetime and delivers the words that will shatter his reality. The child they conceived together all those years ago, the baby they both believed had been lost to a tragic miscarriage, did not die. The child is alive, fully grown, and out there in the world. Jack's immediate reaction is a violent cocktail of profound shock, resurfacing grief, and desperate denial. The memory of that supposed miscarriage was a foundational trauma in his life, a tragedy that irreparably altered the trajectory of his relationship with Patty and left a permanent scar on his soul. His first instinct is to aggressively reject her claim, viewing it as the ultimate, sick manipulation from a woman whose grip on reality has always been tenuous at best. He accuses her of cruelty, of weaponizing a decades-old tragedy to force her way back into his life. But Patty does not waver. She provides specific, irrefutable details, medical records, dates, and the names of individuals involved in the dark cover-up that forced Jack to stop and listen. The sheer conviction in her voice, coupled with details she could not possibly have fabricated, sends a cold spike of dread and desperate hope straight through Jack's heart. What neither Jack nor Patty realizes in this monumental moment is that they are not alone. Lurking in the shadows, driven by her escalating paranoia regarding Jack's whereabouts and his connections with other women, is Diane Jenkins. Diane overhears the entire, devastating exchange. The physical reaction to this revelation is catastrophic for Diane. It is as if the floor of the Abbott mansion has simply vanished beneath her feet. She leans against the cold wall, gasping for air as the crushing weight of the ultimate betrayal settles over her. It is not just the fact that Jack has been secretly conversing with Patty, but the horrifying reality that Patty holds a trump card Diane can never hope to defeat, a living, breathing biological child with the man Diane loves. This is a permanent, unbreakable tether between Jack and the woman Diane fears most. Unable to contain her boiling fury and profound terror, Diane steps out of the shadows, initiating one of the most explosive three-way standoffs in the history of Genoa City. Diane launches into a vicious verbal assault, accusing Patty of spinning psychotic lies to destroy her life. while simultaneously turning her wrath on Jack for even entertaining such a monstrous fabrication. Jack is caught in the middle, his mind reeling from the possibility of a lost child while trying to manage the explosive rage of the woman he is currently tethered to. Patty, however, stands in the center of the storm with a smug, terrifying serenity. She absorbs Diane's hatred like sunlight, visibly delighting in the fact that she has effortlessly driven a wedge of pure doubt and panic into the heart of Diane's carefully constructed world. Patty knows that the seed has been planted, and no amount of Diane's screaming can uproot it. For Jack Abbott, the revelation presents an agonizing, impossible choice. Despite his deep mistrust of Patty and his awareness of her severe mental instability, the ghost of a lost child demands his attention. Even if there is only a fraction of a percent of truth to her story, Jack knows he cannot simply walk away and leave the mystery unsolved. The paternal instinct, deeply ingrained in the Abbott patriarch, overrides all logic and self-preservation. He makes the fateful, dangerous decision to reluctantly ally with Patty Williams to investigate her claims. This decision acts as the final, fatal blow to his relationship with Diane. As Jack walks away with Patty to chase the ghost of their past, Diane is left standing in the ruins of her emotional security, realizing that Jack has chosen the possibility of Patty's child over their shared future. The investigation that follows forces Jack and Patty into a dark, surreal journey into their shared past. They are forced to retrace steps taken decades ago, tracking down old hospital archives, bribing retired medical staff, and employing private investigators to dig up records that were meant to remain buried forever. The dynamic between them is incredibly toxic yet undeniably magnetic. For Jack, it is a desperate, painful search for a missing piece of his soul. For Patty, however, this proximity to Jack is a dangerous catalyst for her delusions. Working side by side with the man she loves, united by a common, profound goal, Patty begins to misinterpret Jack's desperate paternal drive as rekindled romantic affection. She starts to envision them not just as investigative partners, but as a family on the verge of a beautiful, long overdue reunion. As the reluctant duo digs deeper, their investigation leads to a shocking, earth-shattering discovery regarding the mastermind who orchestrated the theft of their child. The records reveal a massive, heavily funded cover-up designed to fake the miscarriage and whisk the infant away. The revelation of the culprit's identity will send shockwaves through the highest echelons of Genoa City's elite. Was it a calculated move by Victor Newman to permanently destabilize the Abbott family airline? Or was it a misguided, tragic intervention by someone within Jack's own family, perhaps the late John Abbott himself, desperately trying to sever the permanent tie between his beloved son and the deeply unstable Patty Williams? The sheer malice and immense power required to execute such a flawless theft of an Abbott heir points to a conspiracy that will rewrite the history books of Genoa City. While Jack and Patty inch closer to the explosive truth, Diane Jenkins is left to spiral into a state of total psychological collapse. Her prestigious title as the chief executive officer of Abbott Cosmetics suddenly feels entirely hollow and meaningless. She may have won the corporate war, but she is rapidly losing the war for Jack's heart and the Abbott family legacy. Her isolation is profound. Her relationship with Kyle, which she manipulated to secure her power, is her only remaining anchor, but even that is now under severe threat. Diane knows that if Jack brings a new, older Abbott heir into the fold, Kyle's position as the golden boy and the future of the Abbott empire will be directly challenged. Diane's paranoia reaches a fever pitch, transforming her into a highly dangerous, unpredictable force as she realizes she is entirely powerless to stop Patty's ultimate victory. The climax of this harrowing storyline approaches as Jack and Patty finally uncover the definitive proof they have been searching for. The child is not just a ghost in a file, they are a living, breathing adult. And the most staggering twist of all is that this person is already residing in Genoa City. The dramatic irony is palpable, as Jack realizes he may have crossed paths with, spoken to, or even done business with his own flesh and blood without ever knowing the profound connection they shared. The emotional weight of this impending reunion is staggering. Jack must prepare himself to look into the eyes of a person who carries the blended legacy of the Abbott and Williams families, a living testament to a tragic past that was stolen from him. The fallout from the discovery of this lost child will alter the landscape of the young and the restless forever. For Kyle Abbott, the sudden appearance of an older sibling introduces a massive, unprecedented threat to his inheritance, his corporate standing, and his relationship with his father. Kyle, who recently committed the ultimate betrayal by ousting Jack, will now have to compete with a sibling who represents Jack's deepest regrets and greatest hopes. For Diane Jenkins, the arrival of this child is the manifestation of her absolute worst nightmares, a permanent, breathing reminder that Patty Williams has achieved a victory that Diane can never erase. And for Patty, the discovery of her child represents the ultimate, twisted validation of her lifelong obsession, forever binding her to Jack Abbott and cementing her place in the chaotic, dramatic history of Genoa City. The Abbott family will never be the same, and the shockwaves of this revelation will be felt for generations to come.